Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Technology Grabs. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on our programming tutorials. Today, we're diving into a powerful feature of Python that can significantly enhance your coding skills: decorators. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced developer, understanding decorators is essential for writing clean, efficient, and reusable code. In this video, we'll cover 30 essential interview questions and answers related to Python decorators. We'll explore what decorators are, how to create and apply them, and even look at some built-in decorators. Plus, we'll provide practical examples and use cases to help you grasp these concepts effectively. By the end of this video, you'll not only be prepared to tackle decorator questions in interviews but also gain a deeper understanding of how to apply decorators in your own projects. Let's dive in. What is a decorator in Python? A decorator is a function that takes another function as an argument and extends or alters its behavior without modifying its code. It allows you to wrap another function to add functionality. How do you apply a decorator to a function? You can apply a decorator to a function using the @decorator_name syntax above the function definition. What is the purpose of the functools.wraps decorator? The functools.wraps decorator is used to preserve the metadata of the original function when it is wrapped by a decorator. It helps maintain the original function's name, docstring, and other attributes. Can decorators take arguments? Yes, decorators can take arguments by defining a decorator factory that returns a decorator. What is a built-in decorator in Python? Built-in decorators are provided by Python and can be used directly without needing to define them. Common built-in decorators include @static method, @class method, and @property. What is the difference between a function and a method in Python? A function is a standalone block of code that performs a specific task, while a method is a function that is associated with an object, usually defined within a class. How can you create a decorator that logs function calls? You can create a decorator that logs the function name and arguments each time the function is called. What is a class decorator? A class decorator is a decorator that modifies or enhances a class rather than a function. It is applied to a class definition. How do you chain multiple decorators? You can apply multiple decorators to a single function by stacking them on top of each other, with the closest decorator applied first. How can decorators be used for access control? Answer: Decorators can enforce access control by checking user permissions before allowing a function to execute. What is a memoization decorator? A memoization decorator caches the results of function calls to avoid redundant calculations, improving performance for expensive function calls. How can you create a decorator that times function execution? You can create a decorator that measures the time taken for a function to execute and logs it. What is the difference between a decorator and a higher order function? A decorator is a specific type of higher order function that is used to modify or enhance the behavior of another function. All decorators are higher order functions, but not all higher order functions are decorators. How can you use decorators to enforce type checking? You can create a decorator that checks the types of arguments passed to a function and raises an error if they do not match the expected types. What is a singleton decorator? A singleton decorator ensures that a class has only one instance and provides a global point of access to it. How can decorators be used to modify class methods? You can create decorators that specifically target class methods, allowing you to modify their behavior. What is the purpose of the @static method decorator? The @static method decorator defines a method that does not require access to the instance or class. It behaves like a regular function but belongs to the class's namespace. How can you create a decorator that caches results based on function arguments? You can create a caching decorator that stores the results of function calls in a dictionary, using the function arguments as keys. What is a decorator for handling exceptions? A decorator can be created to catch exceptions raised by a function and handle them gracefully, such as logging the error or returning a default value. How can decorators be used to enforce a maximum number of calls? You can create a decorator that limits the number of times a function can be called, raising an error if the limit is exceeded. What is a decorator that modifies the return value of a function? You can create a decorator that alters the return value of a function before it is sent back to the caller. How can decorators be used to implement retry logic? You can create a decorator that retries a function call a specified number of times if it raises an exception. What is a decorator that logs execution time and results? You can create a decorator that logs both the execution time of a function and its return value. How can you create a decorator that modifies class attributes? You can create a decorator that modifies or adds attributes to a class when it is defined. What is a decorator that checks for required attributes in a class? You can create a decorator that checks if certain attributes are present in a class when it is defined. How can you create a decorator that modifies the behavior of a context manager? You can create a decorator that enhances the functionality of a context manager by adding pre- and post-execution logic. What is a decorator that validates function arguments? You can create a decorator that checks the validity of function arguments before executing the function. How can decorators be used to implement a logging mechanism? You can create a decorator that logs function calls, including arguments and return values, to a file or console. What is a decorator that modifies the class instantiation process? You can create a decorator that modifies how instances of a class are created, such as enforcing certain conditions or modifying attributes. Remember, decorators are a powerful feature in Python that can help you write cleaner, more maintainable, and reusable code. Whether you're logging function calls, enforcing access control, or caching results, decorators can enhance your programming toolkit. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends or anyone who might benefit from it. Your support helps us create more valuable content for you. Also, let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or if there are other topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. We love hearing from you. Don't forget to subscribe to Technology Grabs for more programming tutorials, tips, and tricks. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and happy coding. See you in the next video.